You know what is a learnable skill? Fighting. You know what happens in a fight. Person one yells, person two yells, situation escalates, everybody's all churned up. Now, under the surface, what's going on is it's like those iceberg visuals, right? Whatever's going on top, whatever is happening underneath is a lot bigger. I might, with some self awareness, know what's causing me to explode, but I have no clue about what's happening with the other person. So, with that awareness, if you can approach disagreements with a little more compassion towards the other person, that's a great starting point. Let me also tell you at this point what's out of syllabus. Anything like a college or a workplace disagreement where positional power is involved, then you need a very different set of skills. You need to pick your battles, you need to get data, you need to identify what you can say and to whom, you need to be calm, you need to be assertive, etc. Right? So we're not going there. We are talking about disagreements of the sort that you have with family, friends, roommates, right? Those kind of situations. So we all have fighting styles, and very often they are maladapted, and very often they're different for different groups of people. With family, for example, I tend to change the topic. With friends, I tend to keep the peace, and suddenly I explode, and then they're wondering what happened, where did that come from. Over time, I've learned to get better at this with a little help. So I'm going to talk to you about what that help was and what's that done for me, right? So very broadly, you start with the question, is this something that requires a discussion? What can I do to not allow to escalate it to an argument or a fight? Yeah. And so what's my goal? Do I want to prove my point at the cost of the relationship? Is it all about the person and them being problematic? Or do I want to maintain the relationship? If the answer is the latter, then you look at the situation in isolation, reach out to them, say, hey, there is something that's bothering me and it's this. Allow them time to prepare their response and say, when can we talk about it, right? That's a great way to do this. And whenever you have the conversation, again, remember you have the choice with your response to make it into a fight or keep it at a disagreement or a conversation level. So you don't raise your voice, you don't do body language cues like rolling your eyes or, sarcastic laugh or make judgment. Oh, fine, you've started talking, now I won't get a chance at all, right? As opposed to, I'm sorry, but every time we disagree, I feel like you tell your point of view, but I don't get a chance to air mine. Tell me, when can I talk? It takes a lot more effort, takes a lot more control, but it leaves everybody feeling calmer. And remember, it takes two for nasty tempers to flare up. Yeah, and for a disagreement to descend to the level of a tantrum. So that's the first point. The second is, and this for me is pure gold, which is you protect the vulnerability of the person you're fighting with and they do the same for you. What does that mean? Say I know that the person I'm disagreeing with, they feel uncomfortable about their small town upbringing. So if we're disagreeing, then I won't say you don't know anything, you're a small village person, I have more experience than you. I do not bring that up. And if they know that, say, I have body image issues, then they don't shame me in the conversation. So whatever is the other person's vulnerability, you can either use it as a weapon or you can protect it. So the preparation for this happens in peacetime, not during wartime. So when you're not fighting, you talk to that person and you tell them, listen, I value us. We will disagree on some situation or the other. When that happens, here are things I will not bring up about you. And here are things I'd like for you to not bring up about me, right? And that then allows you to have an honest, raw, but respectful conversation about something that you're disagreeing about. So it becomes about the situation and not about the person. That largely is the basis, and that brings us to the end of the conversation on skills that you need to fight well. There's a bunch of others, but I'm treating this series of conversations as door openers. You open the door, you see where it wants to, what vistas open up for you, and you decide what you want to do with it from here on. Our arguments and our relationships are as varied as we are, so you'll know what your steps forward are once we've begun this conversation. Only one thing that I want to add is, if you're going to look at how to argue better, a great starting point is with kindness towards yourself, and then you radiate that kindness outwards to the people that you want to have a disagreement with.